Hello everyone. It's Sunday. Sorry, it's not Sunday night. Sorry. I hope I didn't scare anybody then. It's Friday night. We still have a whole weekend ahead of us. Don't worry. I'm so sorry. Yes, Friday night. I don't know what day it is lately. I was a little bit unwell earlier today, and I think it kind of knocked me sideways, but I feel better now. So I had a nap, and I think I was just dehydrated. I think that's all it was, which does affect me quite badly if I forget to drink, as in forget to drink lots of water. I can end up in that situation, so I have to be a bit careful. Hey there, Jean. Good to see that things are going well. Isn't that great? They removed all the stitches. Fantastic. That's so good. That's awesome. Good news. Well done. It's good to have some good news. Hey, Margaret, how are you? Nice to see you. And Cindy, hello. You're back. So nice to have you back again. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice that we all kind of know each other, just even by name, on Friday night and Sunday nights when I'm live. And I've noticed a little community, people starting to feel like they know each other, and that's lovely. That's exactly what I am aiming for. That's what I want. And so when somebody's celebrating good news or has something sad or whatever, we are able to celebrate together when someone's having something great happen. So that's really good. Hey, Sunny. Hi, Nairi. Nice to see you guys. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh, another Margaret. We have more than one Margaret here already tonight. Oh, thank you for sharing. I really, really appreciate that. When people, especially the Facebook posts, when they get shared, Facebook really likes that. And so they will show you to more people. The more people that can share your post, the more Facebook knows that this is something that people want to see. And that works really well. The algorithm works really, really well in that case. So thank you for sharing. So anyone who feels like sharing, please do. That'd be great. Yeah, I bet it is good to be back. Must feel good. Hey there, Joan. Nice to see you. Yep, good news is the best, right? And that is what we are aiming for. We aim to make this a positive place, a negativity-free zone, as I've said many times. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Joan. Really, really, that's great. So today is a kind of a special day because not only is it Friday, for those of you who are still working the 9 to 5, you've got a weekend to look forward to, and that's lovely. But it's also the last day of our sale. Okay, so if you haven't put an order in yet, or if you're thinking, if anyone is hearing me say that it's the last day of the sale and you're going, what sale? Goodness me, guys. It's been I think it's been one of the best sales Stampin' Up has ever had. And anyone who loves their Stampin' Up products and loves getting a discount would find this a pretty good one. It's annual catalog stuff. Here, this is what the sale stuff looks like. Is it around the right way? I think it's around the right way. I showed it on my Instagram post. I noticed it was around the wrong way. I did an Instagram live. I've never actually gone live on Instagram before, so that was a first. It was a good opportunity to share something cool with the details of the sale. So it's annual catalog stuff, 20% off all dies, 20% off all embossing folders, 20% off designer series paper, any standard designer series paper. So it didn't include the specialty ones, but actually there's not that many of those. So most of the designer series papers are also on sale at 20% off, 15% off all the stamps, and 10% off the punches. So it's a really good widespread sale. It's not just one item, it's lots of different things. So it's been really fun to share that with people this week. And if you're someone who loves to get a discount, you're going to love the sale because there's lots and lots of cool things to take advantage of. It was a good sale, that's right. 4 of your customers ordered Nari. That's awesome. And I hope you're a demonstrator. So for those of you who are demonstrators, you realize that you get your demonstrator discount and then the Stampin' Up discount as well. So it's kind of like a double dipping situation. You get to actually not just your 20% off, say, dies, but then you get your 20 or 25% off as a demonstrator as well, making it 40 or 45% off the normal price, which is absolutely fantastic. So it's been a very good sale for a lot of people. Hey there, Anita. So if you're a demonstrator and you haven't yet taken advantage of it, or a customer, the sale ends at midnight tonight. So it's not too late. You can still order. If you have a demonstrator or you are a demonstrator, get on to them or get onto the demonstrator website and do your ordering. If you don't have someone looking after you and you're wondering where you can get the products on sale, you can order through my online store. Okay, I'm very happy to look after you in that case. Hey there, Ellen. Long time no speak. What is it, 15 minutes? See, lots of people know you, Ellen. That's awesome. So Margaret's saying hi. All right, so I'm going to get this camera turned around and we'll get going on some stuff. I thought we'll start with some simple stamping. That's what we might do first. And I've just got a very rough idea in my head of something I wanted to do. And I'm going to show you. The thing is, I like to share, when we have things like sales, I like to share my favorite products in the sale. But there's so many in this one that it's really hard to pick. So I am taking requests. If anyone wants to see something specific, please say so and we'll see what we can do. But I did get a request this morning for the Lovely and Linen Suite from Solvega, who has asked if I could show that. So I am going to show that, but I thought I'd show another of my favorite sets. And since I put my stamps in alphabetical order, it's much easier to find. I'm going to switch over to the desk and I'm going to show you one of my favorites. All right, so this one is called Watercolor Shapes. There's our sale. If anyone has any questions about anything I show or about the sale or anything else, please ask. Okay, it's always good to know that I'm right here and I have, I'm kind of a captive audience while I'm live. So feel free to ask questions in the chat. Okay, and if I miss them, I'm sure someone will make sure that I don't that I don't miss it. All right, so this one's called Watercolor Shapes and it is actually a cool set. It is a distinctive set, and if you don't know what that means, distinctive sets are actually part of our catalog offering, and they are stamps that give you like a light and a dark kind of appearance. So if you can see, this is not just a solid circle, it's like dark and light in places. And when you stamp it, it's going to stamp like that, which is really impressive. So the technology that they're using to impress the stamps allows for shading in the stamp. Even though you're only using one ink color and one stamp, your stamps are going to come out light and dark. So it's a really, really cool thing that they've been doing for probably 3 or 4 years now. If anyone wants to correct me, that's fine. But yeah, I really like that we have these kind of stamps, because it's not just a flat solid image. It's actually going to give you that great what's the word, variegated image. So it's a lot more interesting. Now this one is great because it's got some really fabulous shapes, and I have a big I'm actually just going to start tonight with a piece of basic white. Okay, this is basic white thick, and I like thick for the card basis. And I'm going to do a 1-layer stamp card, which means no sticking on other layers. We're just going to go single layer. And I've just realised, because I've been at a class this week, I have still got all my adhesives and my bone folders sitting in my bin across the other side of the room. So I shall grab it. And the other thing is, we have a visitor coming tomorrow night to stay with us. And so we had to clean out the spare room. And every time we clean out the spare room, it's our room of shame. Okay, that's where all the stuff goes that we don't know what to do with. It ends up in the spare room because we don't have people come and stay very often. And because we have someone coming to stay tomorrow afternoon, we had to clean it out. Okay, now I'm really pleased to say that most of the stuff in the spare room does not belong to me. Most of it is not mine. But guess where the stuff goes when it comes out of the spare room? Anyone want to guess? So behind me, in boxes and boxes against the wall, is all my all the stuff that came out of the spare room. And it's in here now. So that's all a bit interesting. And it means that I have stuff everywhere. But luckily, when we took it out last night, we did put it all in separate bins and boxes and things. So it shouldn't be too hard to fix up. When we put it back in, it should be okay. Now, what I started to say before about this set is that I really love sets that have interesting shapes. I find them, there's so much you can do with them. In fact, we're probably going to do several cards with this tonight. And I'm just going to start with a fairly small shape. I'm just thinking, will this circle go onto A block? And you know what, it will. That's how small it is. It's unusual. Tiny, tiny little stamp. And I'm going to start. What color shall we do? Anyone want to? Yes, the craft room is, well, you know what? You can't see the mess because there's so much of all the boxes of stuff that you can't even tell which part of the mess is mine, Ellen. So I feel strangely okay about it. And every time we empty it out, we're getting more things sorted, and it's not as much coming out or going back in as it used to be. So I have noticed we are finally getting there. Slowly. We've only lived here for nearly 3 years. Slowly, we are getting all the boxes sorted out. Thanks, Elizabeth. You're making me feel better because it's good to know I'm not alone. Okay. All right. So I've got my circle here, and like this is another little, this little circle is also kind of different grades of color, like the big one. And I'm going to start just with this little circle. But what color shall we do? Solvega said blue. Deb's already said rich raspberry. Anybody else? No, rich raspberry was the first one. So we're going to have to, or your ironing gets hidden in the spare room. See, we're all the same. We are all the same. And so anyone who thinks that if anyone ever looks at my stuff, I think I sit in front of my my storage area and everyone thinks I'm super organized. Ha 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 ha. No, not true. Not so, not true. Right, this is going to be rich raspberry. And look, I'm going to stamp it here first so you can see how we get all the different light and dark in this stamp. It's a really nice stamp. Isn't it nice? They're all really nice stamps. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here in the corner, and I'm just going to go straight on to this. And I'm going to, because it's a clear stamp, I can see, and I want to put my stamps so they're touching each other. All right, and I'm going to slowly work my way across. There'll be a little bit of a gap between some of these, but I kind of want to give the idea that I've got a lot of touching going on. And I'm just going to fill in my, where will I go with this one? Isn't that as nice? Aren't they nice stamps? I really, really, really like the way these stamps. So these are called watercolor shapes. They're in the annual catalogue, and yes, they're on sale until tonight, 15% off. There, you can get so many nice effects when you're using symmetrical shapes, and it's a lot of fun. And you can see, even if you don't stamp it quite properly, like I didn't stamp these couple properly, doesn't matter. It's very forgiving. And I'm just going to, I want to create kind of a corner look, and I'm creating a background, obviously. I'm thinking that might nearly be enough. I think I might call that done. All right. And I'm going to make a couple of cards. Now I'm going to, Solvega asked me would I use the Lovely and Lasting set tonight, and I'm thinking I will. I could use a sentiment out of that. I'm going to put a sentiment straight up here. Just something really simple. What shall we do? We've got just a simple, you know, we've got sympathy, thank you. This is a good, this Peaceful Moment set is a great set if you're looking for just a really simple set that's going to cover lots of occasions. I'm going to do a thank you card, a thank you one this time. Of course, you could put them on a label and you could do all that kind of thing, but I'm just going to keep it really, really simple. And like, this is the world's easiest card, just a bit of stamping. Don't forget to turn the stamp. Yes, it doesn't matter with the round ones so much. I think some of the others matter more, but you're just going to go a nice simple little thank you there. And so you could do it easily, a set of these, and do them that same shape but in different colors. Or the other thing you can do is use different shapes. So let's do another one with a different shape. I'm cleaning my stamps as I go because I don't want the rich raspberry to stain my photopolymer stamp too much. I mean, you can't stop it. The purples, the pinks, and the reds are the worst culprits, but that's okay. They will stamp exactly the same. It's just the... Now, Solvega said blue. Okay, so let's pick a blue one. A dark blue, a light blue. What kind of blue do you think? I'm thinking, let's try Pacific Point. That's nice and bright. Let's give that one a whirl. I don't use it that often. That's a really bright blue. Hey there, Judy. Nice to see you. Oh, Starry Sky would be nice too. Yes. I've got this one now, but Starry Sky would be a good choice. So another thing you can do with these, and it's a really good look, is like make bricks. All right. So that would be another nice thing to do. And I'm just going to grab another piece of basic white, and we're just doing super, super simple stamping. So if you're a new stamper and you're not sure what to do with dies or all the other bits and pieces you see people playing with, this is a really great way to start, just with some stamps, ink and paper, and it's a lot of fun actually. All right, so I'm going to pop this one. So, this is Pacific Point, this color. It's not as dark as navy. It's got a bit more strength of color to it. And I'm just going to kind of make a border. So there's a lot of fun playing with these stamps. And every time you'll notice I stamp it the same way, but it looks totally different because it depends on how hard you press and all that kind of stuff. So because you're working with solid shapes, it's going to look a little bit different every time. Now this time, I'm going to put this one in the middle of the join between these two. So this is how we're going to create like brickwork. And if you don't line them up completely perfectly, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at all, actually. But, you know, obviously, if you do it, who's done this kind of thing and likes the way it looks? Hey, Donna, nice to see you. Hey, Katrina. Oh, it does look like grapes. We could make it look like grapes, like purpose. We can make it look like that. That would actually be a good look. You can get quite creative with all these different shapes because, like you said, when you put them down, you suddenly think, oh, it looks like this or it looks like that. And I love the different grades or strength of color just in using the one stamp. I think it looks fantastic. This one, I just want to put it just here on the end. That one as well. Like that. And see, then I can put a stamp here, or I could put a circle here. That might be a good idea. That might be what I want to do next. I'm thinking I've also got, this is I pulled this one out because this is a punch that matches that Lovely and Lasting set, or the Lovely and Linen suite, and I'm going to use that. I've also got a couple of, you know, longer banners here and things like that, but I don't want to put them over here because I'm going to lose some of the look of my bricks if I do that. I could, though, I would probably do my normal vellum trick, you know, the vellum circle and then a smaller circle inside, but I might come back to that. And we will have a little think about whether I want to do that or not. Anyway, it looks good, doesn't it? Doesn't it look great? It's very, very simple. So you said you haven't done anything like this, Nari. Is that because you don't have this set, or you've never tried with different shapes at all, like any other shapes? What colour shall we do now? I'm going to clean this one off. Give it a bit of a clean. And this time, I'm going to pick a different, I'm going to pick, oh, I'm deciding, will I go with squares or will I go with long, skinny rectangles? Let's go long, skinny rectangles just for fun. And we're going to do something different with those. And I'm going to, because I actually didn't plan to do this ahead of time, I didn't actually prepare enough paper, so I'll just quickly cut another sheet of basic white. So this is Basic White Thick, which is the thicker one for a card base. They're my favorite for card bases. And then I'm going to cut that in half. So now I have my 2 halves, and one is going to be the base that I'll choose next. So sometimes I just like to stamp. I don't want the distraction or the diversion of lots and lots of dies and other bits and pieces. I just want to stamp. And this is a really great way to do that. Yeah, look, it's just fun. It's fun to, where will I put this? Put this over here. All right, so this time I'm going to go with a different color. What shall we do? Thinking what colors would look good. Old Olive might be nice. Haven't used that for a while. Or Orchid Oasis. That's our purple. Shall we do that? So I'm just having a bit of fun with this tonight and showing you how quick and easy you can just... I'm going to... Now you could do random ones all over and make it look like giant confetti, but I'm actually going to do like a diagonal border. And I'm going to pop them from the bottom here. This one needs a little bit more down the bottom here. So it looks like looks almost like a belt. And we're going to have that going up here. And like this. Now what you could do, you could have them going the other way as well. You know, you could have another row of them going this way. But I kind of just think that's fun just like that. Or you could have a different shape. You know, we could do some circles down the bottom here. That would look fun. Or you could just keep it like this. And if we're going to do that, let's have a... What stamp will we have? I don't know. Wishing you every happiness? No. I think maybe just make a good old happy birthday. Happy birthday is good because it goes with everything all the time. It would look... See, these are great for backgrounds. So yes, you could use another stamp over the top, which would look really, really cool, right? Just because I'm not doing that today doesn't mean to say that you couldn't do it. And it would be a really fun way of... I mean, I said it looks like a belt. Yes, it could be tracks. It could be... Oh, there you go. Margaret said a fence. There you go. So you really can kind of let your imagination run wild and have a bit of fun with it. Oh, pedestrian crossing, says Helen. Yeah, you could. Why not? Right? And then I'm going to pop my happy birthday here. And so on. And you could add things if you wanted to. So you could add some ribbon, or you could add a strip of washi tape. Actually, we have black glitter washi tape. That would kind of look cool. Let me see if I have some handy. I have orange and purple and green. Do I have the black? Of course, that's the only one I don't have, the one I told you about. But that's okay. This is not the right purple. I'm going to go the green just for fun. Let's put that. Oh, a train track, Donna. Yes. You could easily make a fence. Of course you could. So let's pop this on here and just for a bit of fun. And the other thing is you could have put this down first to give you a guide for exactly like to keep it straight. You could do that, but it doesn't matter. I'm not too worried about it being perfectly straight. And then what I'll do then is turn this over, grab my scissors. There we go. I'll just trim that off so it matches up with It's just something different. I mean, what a simple card. Tell me that's not a super simple card, right? But you can just have a lot of fun. We could add some bling, which Jodie's not here to tell us that tonight, but we could easily add bling. That'd be nice. So totally different ideas, really quick and easy cards that you can make with this fun stamp set. I mean, it's good for other things too. I've used this, both the small one and the big one, for a moon in the background of a scene. They look really cool. They're just, yeah, they're a lot of fun. And you let your imagination run wild and just create fun backgrounds with the different shapes. And why not? You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, difficult. It's something you just kind of start stamping and just see where it takes you. The other thing that looks really nice is have the different shapes all overlapping each other. So like the big ovals, oblongs and squares, these guys, all sort of going different directions, but all overlapping each other in different colors. That looks really cool as well. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with this one. It's just a fun set, and a set that I haven't used nearly as much as I would like to, but that's my plan. My plan is to eventually use it for all kinds of things. I think it'd be good for scrapbooking as well. Oh, Maltesers. Didn't think of that. That's a great idea. I noticed that Coles had Maltesers. They usually bring them out around this time of the year for Christmas. And they have those giant packs of Maltesers. They have them for $6 at the moment for anyone's looking for quick and easy birthday presents. And you could do a card like this to go with them. But I wouldn't call it, that wouldn't be thank you. That would be, you know what, that one you would want to have the Nothing's Better Than set with the chocolate. To today's plan, consume chocolate. Or I love this little set. This is actually one of the $1 million sets. This is designed by Connie Stewart when she hit her $1 million. And you know, you can have any of the above items, and then there's little pictures to go with them. And you've got the outline of the chocolates, and then you can color them in if you want to with the solid ones. But there's some really great things you can say with this one, and this could go really nicely if you did these. Maybe we do, I don't know if I want them in brown, but we do them in whatever color we want to have them in, and then we make them look like chocolates by talking about chocolate. So yeah, it's a bit of fun. You know, things like, you know, chocolate because adulting is hard. A day without chocolate is like, just kidding, I have no idea. That kind of thing. So it's very fun. It's a fun set. And I was using this one, well, I didn't use it, but I did a card with the Give It a Whirl dies the other day at a class, and we talked about how this would be fun to have showing in the windows as you turn the Give It a Whirl dies, because you can have the cup of coffee or tea if you prefer in one, and then the cocktail in another, and the chocolate another, and you've got to turn the window and decide which one you like to see through the window. So there you go. You can have a bit of fun with those. I like sets you can have fun with. Last weekend at our on-stage event, which was the training event they have for demonstrators, and I was very fortunate enough to go to the Sydney one. Our CEO, the lady who is the CEO of Stampin' Up, her name's Sarah Douglas, and Sarah was talking to us about how important it is to have fun. And I think that's why I enjoy my Friday nights so much, is that I find this is a really fun thing for me to do, and I hope you guys feel the same way, because fun is so important. If your life doesn't have fun in it, you really need to find some. You know, what is the point, really? You need to find fun in your life. So so this is something we get to do on a Friday night and a Sunday night that is fun, and I hope you guys feel the same way, because to me it's fun. And, you know, finding new ways to use the stamps and just experimenting with them and using them. Just, that's why I don't always plan my cards ahead of time. Sometimes I do, but quite often I just want to get on and stamp. I just want to get on and have fun with you guys. So I think you know what I mean. I hope other people feel the same way, because I think it's really important to have fun. You're all very quiet tonight. Am I talking too much and not stamping enough? Is that what the problem is? Let's have a little look at this one. Solvega asked me tonight whether I could show the Lovely in Linen suite of products. We love Friday and Sunday nights. Thank you, Katrina. That's awesome. I'm so glad, Solvega. Thank you. Well, Solvega, you're the one who asked me to use the Lovely and Linen set. So it's right up here near the front of our annual catalogue. And as I've been saying tonight, the annual catalogue is the one that we need to focus on at the moment because this is the one that's on sale. So most of the items in this suite, as most of the items in most of the suites, are actually on sale. So what's in the suite? The Lovely and Lasting bundle, which is the stamps and the dies. Now, please, 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 if you're ordering before the end of tonight, do not order any bundles because you will pay more tonight for the bundles than if you order them separately. Because right now the dies are 20% off, punches are 10% off, stamps are 15% off. Okay, when you order a bundle, you get a 10% saving, which is lovely. But right now you can do better by getting them separately because you're going to get 15% off the stamps. If it's got dies in it, you're going to get 20% off the dies. So definitely better to order them separately, not as a bundle. Okay, so Megan, you're in the kitchen. Is that what you said? Oh, I'm glad. Look, that makes me happy to know that you guys find it relaxing to watch. So that's important. Really, really good. Okay, so what have we got in here? We've got the stamps and not dies. This one is a punch. Okay, and this is the punch I have showed you before. This one here, it's called the Lasting Label Punch. Okay, and then the stamp set is called Lovely and Lasting. And I've got that. Where is it? Right here, underneath here. And it's a photopolymer set, which means it's one of the clear acrylic ones. And it has one really, really big stamp, which fits onto E-block. That's this one here. Something that I think most people know this, but just in case you don't, whenever you look at the stamps that we have in the catalogue, they are actual size. Okay, so the only stamps that is not the case is the background stamps or any stamps that tell you that they're maybe 50% of the normal size. And the reason why is because it's great for you to be able to see what it's going to look like when you stamp it. So this size here on page 25 of this Lovely and Lasting set, this is the actual size of the stamp when you stamp it. Okay. Now, it also has matching embossing folder, which is also on sale, 20% off, and matching DSP, which is also on sale, 20% off. So right now, you would not order this whole suite. You would order these items individually so you can get the better discounts. Okay, now it does show me here on the page what the main colors are in the papers. Sweet Sorbet, which is that lovely soft red that is in the latest in color range. Pale Papaya, Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen, and Night of Navy. Those are the 5 main colors. Okay, now I've actually got the paper here. Here it is. And when I look at the back, okay, those colors are also listed on the back. So if you haven't got your catalog handy and you're wondering what colors are actually in one of the papers, you'll find them on the back. Sometimes there are more colors listed on the back than are actually listed in the catalog, because for sets that have a lot of colors in the paper packs, for example, Hues of Happiness, there are more colors listed on the back than what is shown in the catalog. They've just got the main ones in the catalog, but there are others as well. Now, the other thing that's in here is the embossing folder, and this embossing folder is called the Quatrefoil Tile, and I've got that here. Okay, I don't know if you can see it very well. Let me put something dark behind it to make it easier to see. Does that look easier? Is that better? The front of the stamp case tells you the size of the stamps. Yes. Hang on a second. It actually, usually it has down the bottom the percentage. So this is telling me that the stamps that are actually in here, these stamps are bigger than what's shown on the cover, because down the bottom it says images are shown at 90%. So nearly the same size, but not quite. Okay, so yes, that is correct. And I don't know that they've always been that way, because this Peaceful Moments one has been around for a couple of years. This doesn't have that information on it. So that makes me, although this one, that is actual size, I know it is, but yeah, I don't know that we've always had that information on here. And this one says the images on the front are at 85%. So this one is a little bit, there's a bit more of a difference between what's shown on the cover and what is actually in the stamp set. Now, one of my favorite stamps in here is this one. And it's like a tiled, you can see it here. It's like tiles. Can you see that? Now, there's a couple of things I can tell you about this. If you have a Stamparatus, this particular size stamp, and a lot of our stamps are like this, have been made to work with the Stamparatus. So they are exactly the right distance that when you use the hinge step technique, maybe I need to show you because I don't know that everyone is going to know what I'm talking about. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? A lot of our stamps are made with the Stamparatus in mind. So let me just grab my Stamparatus. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to bring out my Stamparatus. This is a slight diversion. So you can see I've actually got Stamparatus here. I like having, it's personal preferences. I like having mine so that the hinges are on the right hand side and at the top. That's how I like to set my Stamparatus up, but you don't have to have it that way. When you have, as you can see, I've been using some scrap paper here. I'm going to hang on to that. When you have the base that comes like this, the Stamparatus does come with a mat, okay? You only need to use the mat when you're using photopolymer stamps, okay? This makes up for the foam that's in the rubber stamps. The rubber stamps, you don't need to use a mat because it's already got the foam, okay? But when you're using photopolymer ones like we are right now, then the mat is really, really helpful. It's going to make the stamps the right height, so they're going to stamp better, okay? Now, I'm just using a piece of the mini grid paper. You can buy that separately. It doesn't come with the Stamparatus, but this is like a separate, it's like the big grid paper. It's just chopped down so it fits on the Stamparatus plate. All right, so I've got this cool little thing here. Let me just grab a piece of basic white. Just going to grab a piece. I've got all the ones I'm picking up at the moment are the thick, and I don't want the thick, I want the normal. So with that in mind, I'm just going to grab another piece. So we're really just making it up as we go tonight, aren't we? Having fun, that's what we're doing. Your plates, you like your plate on the left. Yeah, it's personal preference. It doesn't really matter which way it goes, but that's just the way I like to do it. All right, so I'm going to cut this one down to card front size. So that's 10 centimeters or 4 inches if you're in the US. By, I think it's 5 1/4 in the US. Here in Australia, it's 14.3. All right, so it's not a direct translation. It relates to the different paper size. All right, so what I want to do is I would like to have this little piece here. And I'm going to have it, I'm just setting it up on my piece of paper where I want it to be. I'm going to put my magnet over to keep my paper right there in the corner. Now, when you do this the first time, when it's not inked up, it can pull your paper out of place. So you want to reset it when you put it back in. Right, then we're going to ink it up. So I'm thinking, what color will I have? Deciding. I might go with Pale Papaya. I'm wondering if this is going to be dark enough, but anyway, you'll get the idea anyway. So we're going to pop this down. Now, see how it didn't quite come out? That's okay, because with the Stamparatus, you get a second turn or a third turn or a fourth turn or however many you like. Okay, so if you miss-stamp the first time, the Stamparatus will perfectly replace it for you because it just goes straight back to the next place. Now I'm going to go down one hinge step and I'm going to ink it up again. And we're going to do it again. And because this stamp has been made with the Stamparatus in mind, see now how it perfectly lines up those so they fit into the holes. Can you see that? And we could actually like create a whole background work our way down the page and create a whole background of stamps that just fit in next to each other. And I think that is a really cool feature of this stamp set. Okay, so then you get a really cool little tiled look. Does that make sense what we've done? There we go. And you know, you can do it by eye as well. Like if I pull that off, I could put it on a stamp and I can see where I'm going. So the other thing is you can have it so it offsets. And I'll show you what I mean by that without the Stamparatus this time. So let me pop this on a block. And actually I'll pick a different color. Just going to go over to the other side. And just say I decide I want to have a piece here. And then I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to line it up so it's got like little notches. So it's actually really easy to line up. And you can just do it by eye. And see how like the notches fit in next to each other. So this is actually my favorite stamp in the set. I think this is a really, really cool little stamp. And all the notches kind of just fit together. And you can create this great tiled look. Okay, so that looks really, really cool. And that's the Orchid Opulence. I keep calling it Orchid Opulence. We used to have a color called Orchid Opulence. Does anyone else remember that? This is Orchid Oasis is the new one. But Orchid Opulence was a darker purpley color. And there was also, does anyone remember Concord Crush? That's another blast from the past color. That was a color I really, really liked. So yeah, I like the tile look too. It's cool, isn't it? It's really nice. And it's a nice background. Okay. So I've now got a piece of white because I just brought it over. Let me get my Stamparatus bits out of the way. And I'm ending up with something completely different to what I thought because this is not what I anticipated. I'm going to use block E, which is my biggest block, or not my biggest block today. It's not the biggest block. We have a bigger block than that. We have block F. And block F is super, super, super big. All right. I'm deciding. So this page actually gives you some nice ideas of different things you can do with this. This one is just stamped and then run through the quadrifoil embossing folder. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see? Oh, it's a bit hard to see, but it is. And then this one has just got several of the punched shapes in the background there and the words across the front. This one is more like what I was thinking about doing tonight, which is they've stamped it and then cut out the individual bits of the flowers and stuck them all together, which looks really, really cool. So there's a few different ways we can do this. I'm actually thinking I'm deciding which color will I go with. I'm going to bring over my... I use Night of Navy quite a bit, and I am going to use it tonight. But I'm thinking I don't want to actually just stamp. I'm thinking I might use my sponge daubers for this. Sponge daubers are great when you want to have variegated colors, or we could also go with our markers, but the markers are not very friendly with the photopolymer stamps. They work better on the rubber stamps, and I prefer to use them on the rubber stamps. The daubers, however, work quite well. I'm deciding whether I want to do that. You know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to go with the navy, and then I'm going to cut out. We're going to cut it on a separate bit, and we're going to add some other bits over the top. Now, there's a couple of other ways you can do this. If you don't just want to do one color, this is actually inking up really nicely, but there's a few different ways. We can, like I said, do it on a separate piece and then stick some of the pieces over the top, or you could also come in with a blending brush, or even you know, dab off some of the color on some of these smaller flowers or the leaves, and then, you know, then add another color. I'm just going to do it, I think, plain with navy. I'm deciding while I'm talking to you, and I'm going to do it this way, so I've got plenty of room left. Now, this is a big stamp. Guess what I should be doing? Everyone knows what I should be doing. I should be using my mat underneath because I'm going to get a better image. Now, luckily, you can add your mat under like I just did. All right, that doesn't look too bad. Now, let's clean that off. It's a nice stamp, isn't it? It's a really lovely stamp, this one. I do like it a lot. All right, so let's move that. And then I'm thinking on my other piece here, I'm going to stamp it again, but I'm going to stamp it in the Sweet Sorbet. Now, Sweet Sorbet is one of the colours that's in this, and so I'm going to be using some of those colours, and I'm going to cut them out. It'll take us a little bit more time to do that, but it doesn't matter. I think it's worth it. Sweet Sorbet is a really nice red. It's a softer red than Real Red. So Real Red is more like a fire engine red. This is, like I said, quite a soft red. And then you've got Cherry Cobbler, which is darker. I would describe Cherry Cobbler more as like a blood red. But we have now, I'd say, and Poppy Parade is probably the fourth red we have. Would you count Mary Merlot as a red? Maybe. That would be 5. Mary Merlot is darker and dustier, and Poppy Parade is more orange. Okay, so they're all quite different. They all have their place in the colour wheel. They're not even a little bit close to each other. All right, so I'm going to grab those scissors that I had a moment ago, which here they are, and I'm going to add some. I'm deciding. So I'm going to cut roughly, first of all, around the shape that I want to cut out. So I'm going to be cutting out that little bow there. Oh, sorry, bow. It's not a bow. It's a bud. That's what I'm trying to say. I tell you what, when I'm cutting, my brain goes on holidays. Does anyone else's brain do that? So when I'm cutting out, I kind of forget what I'm saying, like I just did a moment ago. And when I'm colouring, quite often, I forget what I'm saying as well. Now, in the interest of time, if I wanted to, I could make the centre of these flowers a different colour, maybe the pale papaya, but I'm just going to go with the 2 colours today, just because I think it'll be quicker. And I'm very roughly cutting these out, and then I'm going to go back and get more precise. Which colour do you love, Megan? No, Cheryl, this one is called Lovely and Lasting, and it's in the annual catalogue on sale today, and it's on page, did I say the page number? I don't think I did. It is on page 25, and some samples, nice samples there on page 24. So I hope that's helpful. And it's 15% off until midnight tonight. So as are all the stamps in the annual catalogue, which is absolutely fantastic. I don't remember them ever doing all the stamps, all the dies, embossing folders, most of the DSP and all the punches. I don't remember them ever doing that before, ever. Maybe I've got a short memory. Does anyone else remember? I mean, very often they'll say, you know, all the X in the catalogue is on sale, but not this many different types of products. So it's been a very good sale. And I've noticed my team sales have gone up a lot this month because a lot of the team members have been putting in their orders to get their double dipping discount. And I know some of the girls watching tonight, whether you're in my team or not, my recommendation to you is do yourself a favor and go and get your double discount. And if you're not a demonstrator, 2 things. Think about it. And the other thing is you can still put an order in as a customer until midnight tonight as well. Okay. No matter who you shop with, whether your demonstrator is me or somebody else. If it isn't me, that's completely fine. I just hope that you get a good discount and get all the things you want. I'm just going to try and cut these out. I realise it's off the screen. The die I used for the window the other day. I don't know. Is that the one with the sea? Are you thinking about the one with the ocean scene, the seashells? because if you are, I know I can tell you which one it was. Tell me if that's the right one you mean. The blue, it was blue and green and all those sea sort of colours. Is that the one you mean? All right, so that one's done. You can get as precise as you like with these, but you don't have to worry about it too much. And this one, I can hear my son talking to the cats, and it is I've actually passed cat feeding time, so maybe that's what they're talking about. Cookie's very quiet tonight. I've noticed he's been sleeping in the corner of his cage. And it's a little bit unusual. I'm not sure whether he's maybe not feeling very well. I see why I heard voices, because it was my husband had popped in to pick up something. He's at work, but his work is driving around, so sometimes he calls in and picks things up. What plans have people got for the weekend? Are you doing anything fun? Anyone want to tell me something fun they're doing that you're looking forward to? Oh, and while I think of it, next weekend, so not tomorrow, but the following Saturday, is my next craft along event. Okay, I cannot wait to do that with you. We are doing magical masking techniques. And I'm really excited about that because there are so many fun things you can do with masking. It's a really, really great technique. And there's a lot of variations on the technique, and I'm going to show you a whole bunch of them. If you placed an order with me last month, you will get all the items in your mailbox this week to help to make the project with me. Now, if you don't have all the items because you didn't place an order and you don't get one of those, that's okay. You can still make it along with me, or you can just watch and enjoy it like you do tonight. But totally up to you if you'd like to be part of that. You just place an order the month before. So people who are ordering this month are going to get the supply packs to make next month's project. That's how it works. And then you also get all the tutorials for all the alternative projects that I make. So in the last couple of months I've been doing this, there've been around about another 5, so a total of 6 tutorials showing different ways to use the different projects or the different types of things that we're doing. Last month we did easel cards. The month before we did watercoloring techniques. It's a lot of fun. And it's really fun to have you with me, just like you are on a Friday or a Sunday night, but it's also a great chance for you to learn some great things. So that is my aim, to build up your knowledge so you're better able to make cards that you love. All right. Oh, that's no good, Elizabeth. I hope your brother is better soon. I know Corinda very well, Nairi. I lived in I grew up between Inverell and Moree on a property up there, and then when my first job, I was in Inverell, and then I moved down to Gunnedah. I got transferred with the bank down there. That's a long time ago now, though. And my parents lived in Tamworth until my mum passed away back in 2017. My dad is still there. So yeah. All right. So I've got. Okay, what happened to it? Oh, there it is. Let's put those to one side. And then I've also got, now I know it's tedious, but I am going to cut this out. And you're thinking, why is she cutting all that out? Because I want to use this as a background. I mean, I could just put it on just like it is. But here's a couple of tips. Let me give you some tips on cutting. Okay, some people like to fussy cut, some people do not. And people who do not love their dies. Okay, they love them. Now, I like dies, but I really, really do not mind fussy cutting. I sometimes, if I have a lot of fussy cutting to do, I'll put on something on the TV, sit there and fussy cut mindlessly and watch whatever is on. Here's some tips for when you fussy cut. Don't move your scissors, move your paper. So see, when I'm going around these corners, I'm moving the paper backwards and forwards, and it's much easier to do than trying to move the scissors. Now I'm coming around first, and I'm going to, I always leave a little gap. I always leave like a little white border, and then I try and use the middle part of my scissors, not the end. Okay, so you'll notice I'm trying to use this is always sharper down here, and it gives you a better look. Now, by leaving a little border and by moving the paper instead of the scissors, you're going to end up with a much smoother result. Okay, and it looks a bit more finished. If you cut right on the line, it doesn't look as good. Okay, it just doesn't. And you'll notice that dies don't cut right on the line either. They also leave a little border, and that's because they know it looks better that way. So try and get used to doing that. While I'm doing this, by the way, I'm not looking at your comments. So I'm sorry if I've missed anybody saying anything really, really cool. I'm just looking. And someone asked Susan what market she's selling her crafts. Just going back to my craft alongs for a second, if anybody missed last month's, which was the easel cards, or the month before, which was watercolor techniques, those tutorials are still available for sale. You can purchase them on my blog. Okay, I'm going to put the blog address up because, you know, I'm just fussy cutting, so it's not going to bother anybody if I put it on the screen. All right, so there it is, lhiggins.blogspot.com. See it right there along the bottom of the screen. And if you write that down, okay, at the top of the blog, when you go in and have a look, there's a little page that says tutorials for sale, and you can purchase all the tutorials for $20 per topic. So it was $20 for the 5, well, really 6 videos for the watercolor one, and then $20 last month for all the different easel cards. And the easel cards were really pretty popular. I was really pleased that people seem to really love them. I'm getting, you notice I'm sort of going in around all these and trying to, so you can go back and buy old tutorials, and they're the only ways to see those, because only the video that I do for the craft along event is public. Anyone can watch it, but if you want to see all the different techniques and different designs that I created, especially for people to purchase, those are only available by purchase. And it's something that I've been able to do. I enjoy it. My main goal, of course, is to get people to order so that they can get them for free. But I know not everybody can order. Either they're a demonstrator and they have their own account, so they're not going to order through me. I get that. Or they're overseas and they can't order through me. Okay, here we go. We've got this here now. So if I wanted to, I can now use this as a little bit of a background. So it sort of comes out like that. And that's kind of cute. It's a little bit on a little bit of a slant, which I don't mind. I could also have it going this way. Actually, I might prefer that. And then we're going to also add these little guys. So I'm going to, will I use a dimensional? I think I will. Pop that under here. And we're going to add a red flower there. And a little flower here. I'll take that away again. You're doing some gardening this weekend, Katrina. That's nice. Well, we're doing, because we've got, like I said, we've got visitors coming, or a visitor coming this weekend. And therefore, I need to make sure that the house is kind of looking okay. All right, and then this one. Now, the alternative to having this background would be to use some of the gorgeous DSP. So we also have that option. See how nice this looks when you add a couple of extra colors? Looks really good. Another one I did a few months ago, I sponged the colors in the middle. So you know, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can color this, and it does look rather good. So there's this, but there's also all these papers, and so this is another option. So let me close these because I don't want them to dry out. And Night of Navy. Actually, I'll keep the Night of Navy out because we might use that for the sentiment. but their colors in here are really nice. Oh, let me see. So we've got the gorgeous, you can see what I mean about it being a soft red. Can you see that? It's not like real red. It is definitely softer. It's got a little tiny bit of pink to it. And on the back, we've got our Night of Navy, like a herringbone pattern. Can you see that? It's really nice. Yours needs doing too. Assume you're talking about your gardening. Oh, that's okay, Cherie. We did miss you. Ah, there we go. And as Donna said, we missed your comments. Long ways is better, do you think? Yeah, and then there's all these. That's if I even decide I'm going to go with that top. I quite like this one. I haven't used this one as much as I would like. It's got the kind of like the tiled look, and that's really cool. And I've also cut, because I thought we might use the paper. You know, we can put the sweet sorbet onto the sweet sorbet cardstock, or we could also, and these are really nice. You can see little sweet sorbet and pale papaya dots on this one, and that would look really nice as well. Okay, but I'm worried that this is going to get a little bit lost on here. Unless we added a white piece underneath, like a white rectangle, we could do that. That might look rather good. A smaller pattern like this would stand out better on, but this one's a little bit dark and busy. It gets lost on there a bit. On the back, we've got some soft succulent. I was going to say sweet succulent, but that's not a colour. I'm missing comments. I'm so sorry. Vellum under good thinking. That would look good, Ellen. That would. Oh, did you watch it afterwards? You watched the replay, Cherie. And you saw that comment, did you? All right, so I'm deciding which way. This is nice too, but that would look good on a soft succulent piece. So I think maybe that's not right for what we're doing today. This one's pretty. See, it's got lots of little flowers like our big flower, and like that would look nice, but on, like Ellen said, on some vellum, that would look good. Then you've got, isn't it nice paper? Really, really pretty. And then it's got pale papaya. Some of the designs on here are quite intricate. And then on the back, you've got your soft succulent little kind of dotty. Actually, I don't even know what that is, but it's pretty. I'm not sure what do you think that looks like? I don't know what it looks like. But it's pretty, like I said. And so you can see all these lovely, like that one there has, that one I haven't used. I think this is my least favorite in here, but I don't mind the back, which is just soft succulent and evening evergreen. That's actually quite nice. And that would look really good on a piece underneath as well with a piece of vellum. That would also look really good. And we've got more of that one that we looked at before. We saw that one before. I think that's all of it. That's all of it. Really nice paper though, don't you think? And I like this one. I've used this one quite a bit because it's easy to work with. And once again, a piece of vellum would be good. Maybe then I need to bring my big shot. Sorry, oops. Wash my mouth out. I need to bring in my cut and emboss machine. And we need to bring in some vellum. We need to make ourselves a piece of vellum. And I'm just going to see if I have my rectangles handy. The other night I showed off the rectangles, and I don't know that I've put them back, which is very, very naughty of me, but I have an alternative. Something I did notice, if anyone's wanting to place an order for the Stylish Shapes dies, those are out of stock. I'm so sorry, guys, but they've actually gone because they were so popular in the sale, and they have now gone. I did use the Give It a Whirl dies in one of my my classes this week, and those have been heaps of fun. I love them. Here we go. This is the one I want. All right, so I'm going to use the scallop contour dies. These will look really nice. And we're going to bring in our cut and emboss machine, which is what I tried to say before unsuccessfully. Let's pop this up. And believe it or not, this card is actually nearly finished. It's not going to take us very long at all. So scallop contours. And I'm thinking, what size will I use? Either, probably this one, but I need to double check. See, this is going to sit, this could sit on this size piece, or maybe the smaller one. The smaller one, I think. So let's grab our vellum. I realized horrifyingly that I was running short of vellum today, so I've ordered more, thank goodness. I realized it's something I never like to run out of. Anybody else? You never want a smaller? Yeah, I agree, Ellen. And then let's pop this through. Put my plate on top and we'll wind that through. It'll make a little clunky noise. There it is. Don't ever worry about that. That just is, it happens when you come to the end of a straight die that has a like an edge on it. As it pops the plates through, it actually releases. Now I have my vellum piece. And I am deciding whether we go with the navy with this piece here, which is quite nice, and then this and our vellum piece, this combo. I think that's the winner. The other option would be this one with the sweet sorbet and this piece and this. They both look good. What do we think? Do we like the pale papaya? Ah, thank you, Judy. You've managed to answer Cheryl's question. The window one with the wheel. Yes. Right. The one I used with had the baby, like it had the bear and the fox and the owl. I think that's the one you mean. Oh, it would too, Cherie. All right. So the question now is whether we go with the sweet sorbet and more of the red. And the question, and Ellen's saying papaya, and same with Nairi. All right, so that's what we're going to do. And we could go sweet sorbet, or we could go, I'm thinking navy. I'm going to make an executive decision, and we're going to go with navy. And I'm going to cut this. It doesn't really matter which way it goes, because it looks pretty much the same. I'm going to cut this so that it fits. I'm going to do it 7 centimeters across. I may even make that less. And we're going to go 13.8 long. So it's going to fit inside. And I may make this narrower. Let me see. So I want to have a piece of blue here. I'm going to have my, and I'm thinking like this. So it's actually coming over here, and we can choose whether the vellum comes over this side more or whether it goes over that side more, and I go this way. But no, I want it that way. I think I'll leave it just like that. The vellum's getting, oh yes, we had a couple of different votes for different things. I'm going to go with the pale papaya one because that was the first vote that I received, but the sweet sorbet would have looked nice as well. All right, so this is 13.8, which means it's just going to fit inside the length with a little bit of a border. Then this here. So yes, you will lose some of the vellum, but that's okay, because it still is going to pop a little bit for me behind here so I can still see that it's on something. I'm actually going to add dimensionals to the back of this. I'm going to add just a few around. Dimensionals are one of those things, you can never really have too many of them. Some people might disagree, but I love them and I use them a lot. And I think lots of dimensionals add so much to... Okay, so that's going to go like that. And then this, you could just stick it down. Of course, I'm going to add dimensionals again because I can't help myself, but that's okay. I'm not going to need as many this time. Yeah, pop one there. Pop them here. Just like that. Now, while I've got my white pieces, I've still got some white left, and I'm going to... We have got some nice greetings in this set. Okay, so we have happy birthday, we've got a cheers, oh hello, thank you, best of luck, and a thinking of you. What shall we have? What do people think? Good fix? Good. What do we think? Anyone have a preference? And I'm going to do it in Night of Navy because it's the darkest color I'm using. I very often will defer to the darkest color. Thinking of you, says Nairi. Okay, let's do it. Thinking of you is down here. Oh no, that's thank you. That's not thinking of you at all. Where is... There it is. Right, so let me pop that on my block. And I'm going to go in with my Night of Navy ink. And then we've got, this reminds me of a pillow. Does it remind anybody else of a pillow? I reckon you could, you know, do something for a pajama party with this. But this is what it reminds me of. So it's worth mentioning again that all the sets in the, here's my fancy storage for my sponge daubers. See how fancy I am? Not. So I'm just going to use some pale papaya with on a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to zip around the edges and give it a nice little bit of edge here. What did I start to say? I was starting to talk about sale. I was starting to say tonight's the last night. It's not just this set. It's all the stamps in the annual catalogue. It's all the dies in the annual catalogue. All the embossing folders. And then it's also most of the papers, not the specialty ones, but all the others. And also 15% off stamps, 15 and 10% off punches. Okay, so everything you've seen me use tonight pretty much is on sale. And you've got until midnight tonight, and then they're not on sale anymore. So just today. Oh, better put it on the right way. That would be bad. I think I'm going to pop that under there. I'm going to have that right down there like that. And then we have a piece of basic white thick. I'm just going to fold that over. So we kept the colours pretty minimum. There is one last thing I do want to do before I call this a finished card. Well, there's two things. Because Jodie's not here. Actually, where's Michelle? Michelle's not here tonight either. Did I see her? I don't think so. Wasn't she travelling as well? I think I remember she was travelling as well. So that's probably why she's not here, if I remember rightly. Okay, so we need some bling, and that's why I was saying Jodie's not here, but we still need bling. Thank you so much, Cherie. All you see is a pillow. I know, right? But it's kind of cute. I do like it. So I'm deciding whether we could put some iridescent rhinestones on here. They always look good on everything, or some iridescent pearls. They'll look good as well. I do also have, I don't know if these would be right or not. We do also have some champagne rhinestones. They almost go, not quite. Kind of. They're okay. I also have some of these little guys. These are from the Storybook Gnome set. These little gems, adhesive back gems. They have some pale papaya, and maybe that's the way to go because that really picks up the pale papaya in here. So I think those are good. And the last thing I wanted to do, I'm going to pop this down here, and a small one here in the corner, and another one up near the top. There we go. The last thing I want to do, if I can find my Wink of Stella, is to Wink of Stella in the middle of the flowers, because I think that would look nice. What do you think? I think that would be a nice touch. Yeah, it turned out pretty nice, didn't it? It's a really fun little set. And I actually, every time I use it, I'm surprised how nice the cards come out. Not that I should be surprised, but, you know, I just am. Every time. All right, so there we go. We have a little bit of Wink of Stella in the center. And we could, if we wanted to, in fact, why not? I'm going to add, just because I can, pale papaya bling in the center of each of those big flowers. There we go. There we go. What do you think? So this ended up being, it's quite, it's, you know, because it's got a bit of dimension to it, it's a bit of a special card. I think it looks really lovely. The other ones we made, though, at the start, these were super duper easy, and I just wanted to show you that you don't need all the layers and all the dies and all the stuff. You can just get some great effects with stamps. I'm going to add a sentiment to this one, but I'm going to do it on a circle. So I might even have a circle handy. I thought I'd use a vellum circle underneath, and then just a white one with a sentiment on top of that. So I'll do that one later and pop it back up. So this one I used the watercolor shapes. All these three I used the watercolor shapes and just came up with 3 really quick stamp cards. So you like it, Cindy? That's good. Yeah, I think it's because the colors all work well together, and so you'd think it would be a really busy card, but actually it looks okay. And the vellum background, which was Ellen's idea, and she's clever at that sort of thing, the vellum background is fantastic for, like, it kind of tones down what is going on behind and brings it all together. So there we go. No problems. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Please pity me this weekend in my craft space, which is very, very small because everything in the spare room is in here, but that's another story for another time. And I'll see most of you probably back on Sunday night. Don't forget, if you haven't ordered yet, the sale is still on until midnight tonight. I wouldn't leave it until really close to midnight, though. I'd be putting it in probably a good 15 minutes or more before. Okay, guys, I hope you're all well. Stay safe, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you Sunday night. Bye-bye.